Hello, welcome to Queenie's Cards of the Month Live, our Lughnassadh ignition, well, kind of, launch, no, the Lughnassadh edition, August 2026. Hi, nice to see ya. So I've already pulled the overarching theme of the month, and we can start with that. But first, I would like to wish you all a blessed Lughnassadh, and I'm going to read a little poem to kind of start things off. This is from a Facebook page called Tales of the Old Forest Fairies. It is a poem by Athie Thompson, and they suggest that you leave out twigs and dried flowers tonight as kind of an offering for Lughnassadh. A Lughnassadh blessing. I heard a whisper coming from the trees, and in that moment I was gone away to return to where I'd come from. And this goes along with the theme of Lughnassadh, which is there is a completion, there is an ending. It is the time of the harvest. We're nearing the end of summer, and everything's bore fruit, but we've also got a lot of weeds. So it's kind of like the Lady of the Harvest in a way, but it is a time where there's all this life and all this death at the same time out in the world. And I think that we can relate to that. That just kind of came in a time where there's a lot of life, things are bearing fruit, there's flowers everywhere, but there's also the death and decomposition happening at the very same time. So that is kind of cool, actually. So the first card, the overarching theme of the month, which is very interesting, I guess it can kind of tie into Lughnassadh. It is undressing of a salad. And you notice that the guy in the middle has little tattered fairy wings, but he is juggling. He has a ball on his shoulder, and he has one in each hand. And some of the other little creatures are holding on to balls. And what this tells me is this is a month where we need to find and stay in our center or fulcrum. There's going to be all kinds of stuff going on around, but we have to maintain our center somehow to stay balanced within all of it. And I suppose that I could tie that card in with the way that I interpret the Wheel of Fortune in the Tarot, which is find your center, stay there so you can figure out which thing that is being offered to you, which is the right one, and stay in your body. So that's kind of what this month is going to be about. It's going to be about maintaining your center. It's about, well, it might be about juggling too, but the only way that you can juggle is to really have a solid center. Because that way you can use your gut to know which ball to catch, where to catch it, when to catch it, and stay grounded. Okay? So we have the overarching theme of the month is the undressing of a salad. This is from the Fairies Oracle deck by Brian Froud, which is the one that I use. Generally, I use that for all my readings with clients. Sometimes I'll switch to the Tarot, but ever since about 1999, I've been using this deck with clients exclusively. So now we're going to have I don't want to burp for you. Anyway, how's that for authentic, guys? I am talking too loud, so the cat's left, but hey, what can I do? So we have got the Spirit Cat cards, the Cat Spirit cards by Nicole PR. And what these will do, oh, this is not a support card. This is what we need to remember amidst all of it. How I do these is generally by intuition and extemporaneous speaking. It's like I do the cards of the month. I think they do me, if you know what I mean. So this is what we need to remember this month, which will support us, but what we need to remember. All right, let's look and see who you are. It is this card. And it is expression. So what we need to remember and how we need to stay centered is to authentically be and express ourselves. That will keep us centered in our bodies enough to where we can stay balanced. All right, so let's look at this. Meet Shanti. She once kept her ideas and feelings locked away in her heart where no one could see or hear them. It felt safe and secure, but alas, she felt so alone. No one truly knew her. She was longing to come out and play. Interesting. Gathering her courage, she flung open the window in her mind and unlatched the doorway in her soul. She started to speak her mind and give voice to her heart. She could never again fit in that small, closed space of hiding. Soon her words grew into unabashed singing. What song are you keeping captive? What song at long last can you unleash into the world? All right, so while you're maintaining your center, you are, you are becoming more authentically yourself, which is encouraging you to express that authentic self. How do we stay grounded and centered and in our bodies? It's by acknowledging the parts of ourselves that maybe we've shoved away or kept squished, or it is time. It is time to bring those parts forward and express them in the world. Do you have a song? Do you have a story? Do you have a conversation? Do you have a painting? What do you have that needs to come out? That and this isn't just about creative things. This is about emotional things too. It's like, do you have a story that you've kept secret that is holding you back? And again, we can tie that into Lughnassadh, which is like clear the field of all the weeds. Clear the field of all the weeds. What's in the way? We can't have new growth until this gets cleared. And so that's what this, I think that's what ties these two together. Now we'll get, where's my deck? That's the cat tarot. Who's hiding? Somebody is hiding. Where did you go? Pardon me. I'm just talking to my decks. Oh, the animal spirit cards are hiding. They don't want to be used tonight. Interesting. All right, well, let's see. So, our responsibilities is going to be from the supernatural deck. Supernatural, join the hunt. So our responsibilities right now, oh darn, you know what's hilarious? I mix this whole deck up. Usually I separate out the major arcana from the deck, but this one I mix the whole thing up, so this ought to be interesting. I'm pulling a card that is what we're responsible for this month. Oh, okay. Interesting. Another completion card. I pulled the Ten of Swords. And this is like them going into purgatory or hell You know who this is. This is Sam and Michael going down into hell. Okay, so I know that sounds kind of scary, and if you didn't watch Supernatural, it won't make any sense to you. But let's talk about the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is letting go. It's the card with the person laying in the bed or on the ground, and there's 10 swords sticking out of them. In order to stay centered in this, in order to have balance in this, we need to be willing to let go of the lives that and the personalities and that are not, that we don't have to wear anymore, that are not necessary anymore. That's the only way through. That's the only way out and beyond, is through letting that go. Swords relates to air, which is communication, boundaries, mental clarity. And so this is a thought thing. This is not like a physical death thing. This is what you're responsible for doing this month is to examine the things that you tell yourself over and over again, the things that you think over and over again that don't serve you anymore, that you've outgrown. You can tell the difference between the ones that are like, oh, that's a great idea, and, oh, this makes me feel small. This thought makes me feel small. This thought makes me feel isolated. This thought doesn't serve me, and it's not accurate anymore. And so having the 10 of, I didn't even put it on the table. I put it back in the thing. Having the 10 of Swords as what our responsibilities are is I think we had a lot of letting go last month as well. So our responsibilities are to, let go of the old parts of you that no longer serve you. They're no longer valid. And sometimes that once we let go of those old parts of ourselves that are no longer valid and move forward unencumbered by them, that also ends friendships and changes them as well. Kind of like in the episode where Sam and Michael are fighting and Lucifer's there and they end up going to hell with Lucifer. Anyway, that's, I love Supernatural and Doctor Who. Okay, get over it. But our responsibilities are to allow the things to go that need to go. And since it is Swords, I would think that these are mental things, mental ways that we loop and think about ourselves and about situations that don't serve us anymore. They might have served us at one time, but they don't serve us anymore. So it's time to let those go. And I know that's easier said than done, but for some reason this month it'll be easier. Now, what's very, very interesting about this to me is that a whole bunch of the astrology, because I follow a bunch of astrologers, although my favorite one is my daughter, Amanda Tucker. Look out for, we might do some interview styly stuff with her at some point in the future. But things have been talking about no longer being able, releasing old identities, releasing old personalities that we thought that we needed to carry or be in order to be loved, and becoming more ourselves in the world and releasing that. And that's kind of what this is saying. Oh yeah, your continued responsibilities are to do this. I need another sippy. All right, so now we're going to go and use the tarot, and we're going to go to the beginning of the month, middle of the month, and end of the month. Aren't you excited that we get to do this live on actual August 1st? I mean, you'd think I have my crap together or something. Don't think too hard on that. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Let's think again about some voices that are in my head that need to go, that don't serve me anymore. I can't lose my sarcasm though, guys. It's my favorite. My sarcasm is my favorite. I want to keep her. I'd like to always have her in my back pocket, just for special occasions, like all the time. All right, so the beginning of the month would be from August 1st to the 13th. And the second part of the month will be the 14th to the 22nd. And the third part of the month is going to be the 23rd to the 31st. How about that? So, oh, nice. Oh, why do I always get that one? It's not that I don't like it. It's just, it always throws me. I have to go back and remember how I figured that card out. Okay, so the beginning of the month we have the Temperance card. And that is this one. And she is pouring water from one cup to the other. The Temperance card, not only is it patience and discipline, you know, temperance, easy there, trigger. It is also the Alchemist card. It represents the restraint, the combination of restraint and expansiveness that is required to create art, to create something beautiful. There is like this restraint where you need to have this idea or a framework or an outline, but then you need to go crazy within it to create what you want to create, to create that alchemy. And so the beginning of the month is, let's see, give me a second. They're coming. There's sounds outside that I guess I was being a little distracted by. Anyway, but the Temperance card for the beginning of the month, from the 1st, which is today, to the 13th, this is about taking what you've learned and taking where you're at and mixing it together to create something new. Letting go of the stuff that you don't need anymore, fine-tuning your artwork in a way, which, you know, some people actually create art, other people are art. They just are art. They walk around. They are, you know, most people are just their own art pieces, their own walking art pieces. Some people are billboards, and some people are clowns, but a lot of people are their own art. You are your own art. You take what you've experienced or dealt with, which is the same thing. Yeah, nice. And you take what your current self is, and you mix it together, and you turn it into something brand new. And that's kind of what the beginning of the month is about, that kind of alchemy, which does make sense if we're letting go of the things that have been holding us back, is that creates new art. Okay? That's the beginning of the month. I need a little bit more for Temperance, so don't mind me. And I feel I need a little phrase. I need a little phrase. Stop it. Oh my God, I'm trying to... Rude, I know, doing this, but I need a little bit more. Okay. All right. So I was right. It's interesting because the Temperance card is also about balance. So we've got the overview of the month. So the Temperance card kind of doubles it down. Balance, patience, but this is also a very creative card. This is, let's say it is the patience that is needed for the alchemy to take place, for the birth of the new to take place. It's the patience that is needed for that. And that's happening until the 13th. And then you're like, yeah, this lady's lame. She had to look up a card meaning. Do you know how long I've been reading these cards? And most of the time I read them with intuition only. I don't read the book meanings. Sometimes I get it. Well, book meaning wise wrong, but not necessarily intuitive wise wrong. Okay, so the next card from the 13th to the 22nd is the Magician. So we've been patient. We've been patient with the Temperance card. We've kind of gained our balance a little bit. And then the Magician comes and says, hey, look, you've got everything you need to create what you want. Look, you notice that he has wands, swords, pentacles, cups, and he has a wand up here, and he's bringing energy down, and it's coming out of his hand. This is to create. This is to create. The Magician is the point where we've launched, which is the Fool. We launch off and taken a leap of faith, and the Magician comes in and goes, let me plant that seed. Takes all our expansive energy of the leap of faith and focuses it in. Has all the stuff from all the different suits and focuses it in, and like I said, let me plant that seed. So there will, at some point this month, you will feel that you've kind of anchored in. If you stay centered, you can plant a seed for something that will bear fruit later. That is, and the Magician, it's about magic. It's about magic staying in the center of all the elements and pulling and funneling the energy down to create what you want and to heal as well. So that's the middle of the month. And then we get a card that I get confused, and I don't know why I get confused by it. I think it's probably because in some tarot decks it's number 8, and in some tarot decks it's 11. Most of my tarot decks, it's card number 11. So from the 23rd to the 31st is the Justice card. Now, tricky that this card is also about balance and harmony and truth and inspiration. So then we've got the overarching theme of the month, which is Undressing of a Salad, which is about staying balanced, staying centered, no matter what's going on around you. And the Justice card, the end of the month, is another card about staying centered. And it's also about balance, because this is the scales, and you see the feather. That's that. God, what is the phrase? I can't think of it right now. It's about weighing the feather against something. And I'm sorry, it's not here. I must have gotten rid of that knowledge to put something else in there. It happens a lot. And as you get older, it happens a lot. But, so we've got the Justice card for the end of the month. And the Justice card, again, is about more of a need for balance and for centering. But to me, this is centering in your truth. Your truth. Centering the truth. Your truth. Unfortunately, I understand that in the world today, there's a lot of people that are really, really, really excited about their truth. and really think that their truth is the truth. And I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting more of a personal truth. This sword of truth, this is to those of us who have critical thinking, it will make sense. But towards the end of the month, I think we'll find out. We will be able to have balance and get grounded in our own truth. The truth of ourselves, which is what we've been trying to do, is with the Temperance card, with the Ten of Swords, with especially with the what we need to remember, which is expression, which is what song are you keeping captive? What song at long last can you unleash on the world? What more of your beautiful, beautiful, precious self is it time for you to express? And that helps with the Justice card. Now, I'm really disappointed that I cannot find, I had a box, and I don't know where they went. It's so rude. It's so rude. But let's find another one. This is going to be our support card. This is going to be the Gentle Chaos Pocket Oracle. It's by Ghost Honey. I got this. I found this person on TikTok. And they are lovely. And so this is going to be our support card. You like my shuffling? ASMR. I'm sorry. I'm sure that works for some people, but that only drives me crazy. And that's where I show my age, I think. I don't have big, long, exaggerated fingernails, which are beautiful, but I don't think I could function in life with them. So this is our support card. Oh, nice. The Cave. The Cave. This makes sense because, now before I read the meaning out of the book, this makes sense because sometimes in order to stay balanced and centered, one must retreat from the action for a little bit to regain their center. And a cave is kind of a good place to do that. Even if there are bats in there. Listen, I'm not telling you that I would like to be in a cave with a bunch of bats because there's something about wing flapping that really stresses me out. And I think, and I will, we're going on a side quest here. How about that? A little side quest. One of the first movies I ever saw at the drive-in theater, with my mom would take me to the drive-in. And one of the first movies that I ever saw at the drive-in was The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock. And I think I used to have nightmares about him. Now, since then, I've dated people, or I've married one, that had birds, and he had a pigeon. My daughter's father had a pigeon named Henry, and initially, the flapping, he would, and of course, just like with any animal, if you don't like them or you're not comfortable with them, for some reason, it's like they can smell it and they need to be near you. That bird was in love with me, like literally. It would fly to me and land on my hand and try and make sweet love to my hand. It was, and the wings were flapping, and I was totally having a panic attack. And I finally just got used to him being around. And then when I lived in Louisiana, the person that I had moved there for, an internet story to hell and back, an internet love story. We won't be doing that again. Anyway, he had a green wing macaw. Her name was Marley, and she was a little scary sometimes because, of course, they're like toddlers, and when they attach to somebody, they really attach to somebody, and she was very attached to him. And so she was a little scary sometimes. But she would, when other people were over, she would climb on me and decide that I was her person too. So she would climb on me to kind of show them that it was terrifying, but she was cute. Anyway, back to this, the cave. This is our support card. This is to remind us, where is it? Come on, you did it. There it is. Okay. There is magic here to stand alone in a cave, to see the waves reach and stretch and collapse exhausted into sea foam at your feet. There is magic in the rocks, in the salt water calling out to the water inside you. The cave is a reminder that the magic can be found in solitude and by looking inward. So, that's exactly what I was talking about with that. The support card is make sure you honor your need to retreat sometimes in order to get back to your center. You can do this in a lot of ways. Let's talk about the ways that you can do this. Aside from disassociating on the couch like I do sometimes. The way that you can do this is, it's still kind of warm outside. It's a little hot, actually. But go outside. Look out the window. Release your engagement in like all this busyness and all this busy work. Walk away for a minute. Take time, if there's a place where you can be alone, to sit and be by yourself. And breathe. Just breathe. And I'm sitting here and I'm not breathing deep because I'm doing this and I guess I get amped up when I'm doing it and I forget to breathe. And also you could do some sort of grounding exercise, which is really simple, more simple than we think. Because I think along with a lot of things like meditation, grounding, people doing spells and things like that, everybody just really wants to have these really intense rules about everything. They want to come from a place of fear. Like, oh, don't let anybody touch your tarot deck. Well, if I did that, then I wouldn't have clients shuffle them. I'd be shuffling them for them. But that you can cleanse them. I mean, I've had people shuffle the tarot deck or a client or something that it felt really funky. And I generally run a selenite wand across them afterwards. But there is so much in life that people are so afraid of. And if you're coming from that place of fear, you're losing some of the magic of the whole thing. And you're creating this hierarchy of like, I'm more magical than you because I only do this. Well, F that. So we started with a poem for Lughnassadh. I have a candle lit here on my table, even though it's making my room really hot right now. Anyway, and I forget what this, I think this is a fire opal. And I've got my selenite wand here. I've decided this is my altar space for this particular video. And sometimes I don't do stuff when I'm doing it, and I just do the cards. And other times I do stuff. And this time, since it's Lughnassadh, and I don't get a chance to, like, I don't give myself the opportunity to celebrate these things, or to you know, kind of set these things up all nice and pristine, because I'm like everybody else. I'm just trying to race through my life, getting by and surviving, and you know, trying not to doom scroll, which I'll tell you what, it's very difficult sometimes. Anyway, to set up something sacred, to remember something sacred. And I think that we put too many rules on what that is. So, retreating. Find a spot to be alone. Take 3 or 4 minutes, maybe even 5, maybe longer if you can. Find a spot to be alone. Pay attention to your breathing. Wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers. And imagine that you are fully in your body. You're all the way in there. And that it's okay and it's safe to be in there. And see what happens. A thought comes. If you're overthinking it, oh, I'm not sitting right. I'm sitting here overthinking. Just let that thought go. It's okay. That's all right. That's all right. Thanks. Thanks for your input. Bye. And take some time to see if you can get clear and see what that feels like. You know? It was an incredible moment when I took a tarot class from my teacher years ago. This was like 88, maybe 89, 90 probably. And she had us write down the meanings of the cards, kind of a shorthand, kind of an overview meanings of the cards. And once we wrote those down, this was 3 weeks in. The 3rd week, she said, okay, I want you to put those away, and you're going to read for your classmate, and you're not going to use your notes. You're going to access your intuition, your knowing, and you're going to do it. And it was like I had permission to say what was coming up when I was sitting across from someone. And I don't think I ever looked back. That doesn't mean that that's going to be your experience, but that was my experience with it. And it was how I could own the fact that there were certain things that I just felt a knowing about. And everybody gets it in a different way. Some people will feel tingling up here. I feel it like right in my solar plexus and right here, where I just feel like I know. And that's how I kind of start talking to you here in a way and come up with what comes out, or some of the phrases that come out, some of the references that come out. That's because the way my mind works is this pattern recognition, to where, oh, okay, this ties into this, and oh, this popped into my head, so this must mean this, and this is here, and then it gets expressed out of my mouth. That's not how everybody works, but that's how I work. And that's how I like to work. And because I imagine that talking to you here, my intention is, because I record these and then I upload them to my YouTube channel, or repeat post them or whatever, I trust that when you show up for any of the videos that I do, whether it's card of the week, card of the month, when I'm just doing life updates or whatever, my intention is that whatever is the perfect message, the most healing and the most loving message that you could receive, that's what you receive, whoever it is that shows up. Whether I know them or don't know them, whether they've watched every single one of my videos or never watched one before, my intent is for you to understand that you're not alone and that we all go through stuff, that I go through stuff, and to understand that I'm not perfect, just like you don't think you're perfect. And in that, we are pretty perfect. So I hope that helps. And I feel like that needs to be the closer, don't you? Like, I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, but in that we are perfect. I love you guys. Stay balanced and centered. And, you know, if you have any questions, you can send me a message or comment on the post, and I will get to them as soon as I can. And I will talk to you next time. You'll see me for the card of the week tomorrow, but this is where we talked about the month. I love you. Bye.